Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. Missing is a part of getting over. The average of 5 is real. If you really want to know someone, look at the 5 people they talk to the most and spend the most time with. And first, you choose a partner based on appearance and enjoy it until you realize that your children will be raised not based on appearance, but based on values. Your friends' problems become your problems. The smaller your social circle, the fewer problems you have. Once you realize your value, you will be greatly surprised at what you used to settle for. If people took back the pain they caused you, you'd lose the strength you gained. No amount of success can compensate for failure at home. When you laugh, people laugh with you, and when you cry alone. You can always earn money. It's not a big deal. Your world is not going to end because you don't have a fixed income. Something else will work out. Every person has 3 faces. Firstly, the one we show to the world and strangers. Secondly, the one we show to family, spouses, and close friends. And thirdly, the one we show only to ourselves. The magic you are looking for is in the work you're avoiding. Not everything in this world should be your problem. Some things are simply none of your business. Focus on the issues that affect you directly. You will be much happier that way. Rejection is important for self-development. Stop trying to make everyone love you. You need enemies to succeed. No one has the answer. You're going to spend a lot of time figuring things out. Most people stay in the same place for a reason. The things they hold dear are the anchors that hold them in place. There will always be someone who is better than you in something. You have to accept that fact and learn from them. That's something that will help you grow. Betrayal never comes from your enemies. Success is a loner's journey. You must learn to accept loss and make compromises. Putting off until tomorrow is your weakness. The hardest part is at the beginning of the journey. The rocket loses 90% of its fuel during takeoff. A moment of patience in a moment of anger saves from 1,000 minutes of regret. You can't always have a good day, but you can always face a bad day with a good attitude. Don't compare yourself to others because no one can play your role better than you. Owning your truth can be hard, but not nearly as hard as spending your life running away from it. Many of the people you told your secret to have already told it to others. No work is beneath you. The only thing that should be beneath you is your big ego. Work hard in silence and show your skills at the job you get rather than criticizing the job. No matter how hard you work, you can't have everything you want. Eventually, most of us end up settling in some part of our life. There is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. People only want to hear the good, not the bad. So, if you have issues, it'll be hard to find people to confide in. Never expect too high. The more you expect when it doesn't meet your expectation, the more it's going to hurt. The walls you build to keep things out are also keeping things in. There are times when you see someone for the last time and don't even realize it. Watch out. You'll never know the true value of the moment until it becomes a memory. Learn to let go, even if you are right. Life is a boxing game. Defeat is not declared when you fall down. It is declared when you refuse to get up. Stop letting other people take advantage of you. Learn to say no and understand your rights. Saying no is important. People don't get offended as much as you think. It is indeed very hard to move on, but once you do, you'll realize it was your best decision. When talking to people, look them in the eye and on the face. This will make you more confident in front of others. Find something you love, something you can lean onto, something that would keep you going. You need something to fall back on when you get depressed. Nothing is complicated, not as much as you assume. It's just your mind playing tricks with you. If you get down to it, it's all really simple and clear. The person who cares less has the most power in a relationship. Never sacrifice your progress for a friend. They might not do the same if the tables were turned. Sometimes, when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted. The world doesn't care about your potential. It cares about what you've done. You spend all your health initially for wealth, and then you spend all your wealth for one day of good health. Embrace judgment. No matter your outcome, you'll always be judged. So don't live to impress others. Live to impress yourself. Worry is the ultimate bully. It takes everything and gives nothing. Never compare your life with others. They may seem better than you, but they have some problems which are never ever heard by you. Don't tell anyone what you think or what you know. Keep your secrets to yourself, because a friend of today could be an enemy by tomorrow. Wasting time in regretting, cribbing, and crying won't fetch you results. You are right about all the things you think you need to do. Don't wait. Get started. You spend your first 20 years worrying about what people think about you. You spend your next 20 years swearing that you don't care what people think about you. You spend the next 20 years realizing that they aren't thinking about you. To have what you never had, you have to do what you never did. If something bothers you, change it. If it is beyond your control, learn to live with it. Accept it. Change yourself. That is the only thing you can influence. When you get up in the morning, remember what you promised yourself at night. People will say almost anything when they're happy. Be wise and careful of this one. The world will not treat you better just because you're a good person. The more people let you down, the easier you'll get back up and realize that life doesn't stop for anyone. You can't litter negativity everywhere and wonder why you have a trashy life. Chasing the opposite sex and having temporary relationships, which means nothing but sex, is pointless. Not everyone will make it to your future. Some people are passing through to teach you life lessons. If you waste money, you can earn it again. If you miss the moment, it can never be returned. The ego is not a bad thing, and sometimes we need it in order to achieve our aims and feel vitality. However, the ego is just a tool. We shouldn't let it control us. Things work out when you least expect them. Life has a funny way of surprising us when we're not looking for it. Time is your most valuable resource. There are no refunds or second chances for the time you waste. In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Being lonely and being alone are different things. Overthinking ruins you, ruins the situation, twists things around, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it actually is. Be impatient with actions, but patient with results. If you're not happy with yourself, you'll never be happy in a relationship. Most people are a complete waste of time. A lesson never ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. You don't get extra marks for putting up with people you dislike. Life is unfair. Don't moan. Don't complain. Learn to be thick-skinned. Make the most of what you can. Don't let people know too much about you. Just trust your instincts. Gut feelings can sometimes save you from big troubles. You don't have to be great to start, but to become great, you just have to start. The moment poverty walks in through the door, love and peace toss themselves out of the window. Don't make hopes. Hopes will create expectation, and expectation makes you weaker. Some people just won't admit they're wrong. Don't waste time trying to get them to accept it. Think before you act. You can take a second to do something you haven't properly considered. That isn't a true reflection of your character, and it can undo a lifetime of kindness and generosity. Life gives you lemons, pepper, salt, and sometimes cold water, but they don't come together or in a certain order. So, keep struggling until the lemonade is ready. Don't be emotionally attached to anyone. People change. Even your best friends may probably turn into strangers one day. No one cares except you. Do what lifts you up in your eyes. What people say does not matter. If you can't do it now, you won't do it ever. Regretting won't change your past, and it will end up your future if you continue to do that. Sometimes you just have to let stupid people be stupid. Don't read a quote and say, "This is wise," but read a quote and say, "How can I relate this to my life?" Passion is super awesome, but it doesn't cure all your problems. Passion can go a long way in your life, but it doesn't mean it's all unicorns and rainbows. You are not unique. There will always be someone else equally attractive, fun, and qualified to replace you.